What if AI does exactly what we want? It becomes smarter, cheaper, faster, more capable than any human at almost anything. Companies thrive, productivity explodes, profits surge, and then the economy collapses. Not because the AI failed, but because it succeeded. This week, Jack Dorsey laid off 4,000 people from Block, the company behind Square Cash App, nearly half his entire workforce. The company was not in trouble, the profits were up, revenue was growing, and he did it because AI made those 4,000 people absolutely unnecessary. And then he said something that most people just scroll past. He said, most companies will reach the same conclusion within the next year. This video is about what happens if he's right. Imagine a world where every student has a personal tutor, every small business owner has a world class analyst in their pocket, and every engineer has a superhuman support. That sounds incredible, and it is. We're already seeing very early versions of this right now. Shopify told its employees, before you ask for more people or headcount, prove that your AI can't do the job. Klarna replaced 700 customer service agents to an AI tool. Now, an AI tool is doing the job of 700 people. Amazon says it needs fewer layers, Salesforce says it needs less heads. Every week, another CEO says the same thing, just slightly here and there, differently. Here's the thing, the productivity gains are real, the output is going up, the costs are coming down. Companies look incredibly healthy on paper. But here's the tension that nobody's talking out loudly enough. Who earns that money in that world? If AI can do the work of a project manager who earns about 15 lakhs a year or $50,000 a year roughly for a few thousands of rupees or couple of bucks, why would any company keep paying lakhs and thousands of dollars to a project manager? And at first it looks great. Margins improve, stocks are going up, investors are happy. But here's the hidden question. Humans spend money, machines don't. Think about it at a human scale first. One company lays off a team of 20 people, saves crores and millions of dollars. It reinvests in AI. Smart move, right? But those 20 people had rent, they had EMIs. They ate at restaurants near their office, they bought phones, they sent their kids to tuition classes. Now they're gone or earning at half what they used to. The restaurant near that office gets quieter. A phone store notices a footfall dropping. The tuition classes have fewer students. Now multiply this by thousands of companies doing this at the same time. A macro research firm modeled this as a feedback loop with no natural break. Let's look at it again. AI improves, layoffs increase, spending drops, profits get pressured, companies invest in more AI improves. Repeat. Get it? And here's the kicker, the GDP numbers still look great. Productivity is up, output is growing. But the researchers call this ghost GDP, the output that shows up the numbers but never actually reaches the people. Because machines don't spend money, they don't pay rent, they don't order food. The economy looks healthy on paper and feels hollow in real life. Let's take a real example. Block's gross profit grew by 17% in 2025 while laying off 40% of its staff. The company got richer, 4,000 people were out of work. Both of these things are true at the same time. It doesn't stop at that. Think about how you use your app services right now. You use the same food delivery app when you're hungry because it sits on your home screen. You renew your insurance policy automatically because shopping for an insurance policy is annoying. You use the same travel site because you know how it works. That's not loyalty, that's laziness. and entire industries are built on it. AI agents don't have a home screen. They don't get lazy. They don't get hungry. They just pick whichever is easiest. They compare every option in milliseconds. Best price, fastest delivery, lowest fee every single time. So, what happens to travel platforms when no one needs them to search? What happens to insurance companies when your AI shops for a policy every year? What happens to those real estate agents when AI has access to all the transactions ever recorded? Trillions of dollars of business value was essentially tax on human laziness. When friction goes to zero, that tax disappears. The piece that inspired this video called it agent on agent violence. And the scary part, it creates deflation. Prices drop, but that sounds good. But when prices keep dropping, companies make less money, hire a fewer people, and the loop we just talks about just speeds up even more. Now here's where this stops being just an employment story and becomes a money system story. For years, big investment firms poured money into software companies, tools that every large company pays for every year, project management apps, customer support platforms, HR softwares. The investors loved these businesses because the revenue felt guaranteed. Companies kept renewing it year after year. But then AI agents started doing the exact same work with the tools, and the company started canceling them. The revenue that was supposed to be guaranteed was not anymore. And here's the uncomfortable part, a lot of the investment money wasn't from the rich institutions, it was pension savings from insurance policies, the kind of money regular households put somewhere safe and just forget about it. When the software companies start defaulting, that money is at risk. Now, it's not an employment problem anymore, it's a financial system problem. This is exactly what Citrini Research piece modeled, and Fortune magazine cited it, directly covering the block layoffs. The scenario is no longer theoretical. Normally, when an economy goes bad, governments have a playbook: cut interest rates, print money, pump stimulus. And it usually works because most crises are about money being too expensive or being too scarce. But this isn't that kind of crisis. You can cut rates to zero, you can pump in trillions of dollars into the system, but it won't change a thing. It won't change the fact that an AI agent can do the work of a 15 to 20 lakh or $50,000 a year product manager for just thousands of rupees or dollars a month. The entire economic system, salary structures, mortgage systems, tax systems, valuations were designed for a world where human intelligence was the scarce resource. Now, what happens when that human intelligence is not scarce anymore? Okay, let's stop being pessimist for a bit. Now, here's my counterpoint, and I mean this genuinely. Humanity has adapted to every technological shift in history. The printing press disrupted scribes, the Industrial Revolution disrupted craftsmen, the internet disrupted hundreds of industries. And every time new industries emerged, new jobs were created, and wealth was built. Maybe AI creates entirely new categories of work we can't even imagine yet. Maybe it leads to new forms of ownership. Maybe it becomes the greatest wealth expansion in the human history, and that's genuinely possible. But there has to be a but. Every past technological shift gave humans time to adapt. The printing press took decades to reshape the society. The Industrial Revolution took generations. The AI capabilities are compounding faster every week. That's not my words. Those are Jack Dorsey's words from 5 days ago. The gap between how fast AI is moving and how fast institutions can adapt, that gap is the crisis. So, this is just a little brain trinket. Some analysts are calling block layoffs AI washing, using AI as a cover for pandemic overhiring. Blocks tripled its staff in 2019 to 2022. The real story may be messier than either side admits. Who knows? This isn't a prediction, this is a stress test. AI could save us, it could empower us, it could make us unimaginably productive. I genuinely believe that that's the more likely outcome. But if we don't rethink how value flows in society, if we don't ask who benefits when intelligence becomes abundant, if institutions don't adapt to the technology faster, then the economy we grew up with might not survive the economy that the AI is trying to build. So, the question isn't will AI destroy the world? The question is are we designing the systems fast enough? Think about it. I'll link the original research piece down in the description. It's it's a long read, but worth every minute. If this made you think, share it with a person who needs to hear about it. Also, if you want to hear about my 2027 report about which jobs are safest and which are most likely to get rearranged into something else, I'll link that also down in the description. Do check it out. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.